Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Rees.
And I am your master of the universe, back again for another round.
Jenna's back. Back again.
Oh, now you got me doing it.
Guess who's back? Yes, I've finally done it. This thing I've been trying to do since the last time we recorded is finally achieved.
Oh my gosh. We have some exciting news for you guys.
Heck yeah, we do. What is it, Jenna?
There's a baby.
Yeah, we're gonna have a baby. Well, not. This isn't our baby, to be clear.
It's
as
my
mentioned
baby.
previously.
Reese is just here because
I don't think that would be legal.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how the government would stop us. They're actually they're going to believe that we're related. You know that, right?
Yeah, they totally. The government?
Yeah, the government's going to believe that we're related, which is what.
Said whoops.
Have some cake over here, Jenna. Have some celebratory. Oh, look, an Enderman.
Candy.
I know how to handle these guys.
Where's Frankie?
Frankie?
Yeah,
What's
my
a Frankie,
dog.
Jenna? Did you lose another dog?
No, I left him right over here. Where did Frankie go?
You want us to have a baby, and you can't even keep track of your dog?
Frankie!
Don't yell about it. Oh, this is just
Frankie,
so
where are you at?
typical Jenna.
I've had the same dog since I was 11 years old in real life. I'll have you know.
She's a great dog too. I love her.
She's so
fantastic.
Sweet.
She always seems very happy when I see her.
She was my birthday present because I begged and begged and begged. And I was like, I have to have a puppy. I have to have a puppy. I was 11. And my dog had just gotten hit by a car because she liked to chase cars. And I was super emotional about it. It was a Boston Terrier. Like the best dog you'll ever meet or would have ever met. So I was like, I have to have a new dog. I have to have a new dog. So my parents are like, no, you're not getting a dog. Dogs are pain. They always say that. We have like 5 dogs. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it was like this whole thing. And so I found this place online. It might have been like Craigslist. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're selling. No, it was like a Boston Terrier site. I found this Boston Terrier site and I found a litter of dogs. And I was like, this is the dog. I want this puppy.
This is the one.
They were born on Christmas Day. It was a whole litter. And I was like, can I please have this dog? And they were like, the one you want has already been sold. And I was like, oh, well, okay. So they were like, but we do have one left. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I could have a little puppy. And so I told my parents, I was like, at the time I had a check thing that was like collecting interest in my bank account.
A check thing?
My great aunt, she like deposited this amount of money for me and it was going to keep on collecting interest.
That's real. You're being extremely vague right now.
I don't remember what it was.
Your aunt deposited a check thing into your account.
When I was like born, she made.
Was she involved in any sort of questionably legal activities?
No, it was like one of those things you leave in like an investment thing and it like collects interest.
Okay, sure.
But it was only like $150. Like I'm sure if I'd left it in there, it would have collected more, but it wasn't going to be like a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know? So that was about like the biggest amount of money I'd ever heard of. And I was like, we can use my check thing for half of it. And then y'all can pay for the other half for my birthday because I was turning 11.
What an offer. Parents, you can pay for half of this thing that I want if you want to. I mean, just because it's my birthday.
Yeah, this is how we do most of my birthdays because all the things I want are very expensive.
Dying. Continue, please.
So I was like, please, 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 please. So they were like, okay, fine. So Dad goes to pick up the puppy on the same day that we are having a baby shower for my sister-in-law who's having my very first niece or nephew. It turned out to be a nephew, but we didn't know.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah. I've seen him.
So it was like we were at the baby shower and all of a sudden they're like, Mom gets a call and it's Dad saying that he's close and he sends a picture of this little tiny orange black little nugget wrapped in an orange blanket. And I was going to say an orange nugget, but that doesn't make much sense. It's a black puppy wrapped in an orange blanket. Yeah. And I start like freaking out. I'm just like, the whole face goes red. I'm like hyperventilating. Like I'm losing my freaking mind. Everyone's like, is she okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. It was like that. So, the puppy finally gets there and she's so sweet. She's running around. Her back legs can barely stay balanced with her ginormous head. Yeah. And, I'm like bawling, holding the dog. Everyone's like way more excited about that than the baby at this point, which we can never tell my nephew. That is the story of how I got my puppy on my 11th birthday. Her name is Macy. She's super sweet. A little weird.
Jenna, have you looked down recently behind you?
No.
You should.
What is that thing?
I don't know, but it's following you. It looks like
That's
Link.
a little baby.
I think it's Link. I think you're being followed by Link. Now, a fun aside to that story is that at the same time, my darling brother also got a dog.
And do y'all know how he got the dog, though? I feel like that's important.
Can you tell the story?
So I had in my mind, I was like, look, I just blew a huge amount of money. I need to start making this back up.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew a little bit about... I had other dogs that had puppies in the past, and I realized we spent like $350 on this puppy. Like, I could totally do this. I could like turn her around and just start my own puppy breeding business. And I was like, all right, all I need is like a willing person to have
a willing dog.
A willing dog. And so I found this male Boston Terrier puppy. And at the time, I think Micah really wanted a dog. I don't know if he wanted one or I just convinced him he wanted one.
Well, Felix had just gone missing.
Right.
So
well,
not
he
just,
really
but
wanted one.
Like he'd moved on. Time had passed, and he no longer felt this the loss in his heart from Felix, the dog that he did not care for or take care of at all, and it was left to be everybody else was responsible for.
So
yeah, but so we wanted a repeat of that. I guess is what the family wanted.
I'm telling Micah, like, oh, you need a dog, And he's like, my parents won't go for it. So one day, as Micah is being picked up from being at our house, as
Which
he was
did
almost
a lot.
all the time.
Yeah.
I sat Mr. and Mrs. Pearson down on our couch on our birdhouse old ratty furniture, which is so vividly in my mind.
I should point out, I don't know how most people picture you at 11. But you were basically like a 50-year-old at this point of your life.
I was very articulate for
You were very articulate. You were very...
opinionated.
Wizened is maybe the term. You were very wise.
I like
well-spoken.
presented it like... So, why I've gathered you here today is... And I like get out my laptop.
I'm imagining that's exactly what it would have sounded like.
Yeah. I get my laptop and I'm like, I have an interesting business proposition for you, and I think it could be really beneficial for Micah to have a dog as he's growing up. This is 11-year-old me. Mind that.
And if you're thinking, oh, well, she's just putting this on for the story. No, this is exactly what it would have sounded like.
That's how I talked as 11. At 11. I've really grown into my speech and dumbed it down a little. But, so... I'm like going on this whole presentation. I have like my hands folded in front of me. I'm like gesturing very gently. I have like the presentation pulled to my laptop. I'm like sliding through things. I'm showing them pictures. I'm showing them sale records from other dogs, and like, look how much this dog went for. Look how much this dog went for. And so, like, they came into this like pretty much convinced, as far as Mike has told me, that they were not getting a dog. Like, they knew about the whole Felix situation. They were like, not repeating that. No,
Mike is terrible at responsibility. Doesn't take care of things.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
But yeah.
But they came out of that ready to get a dog, and that's what they did. They got a dog, and we never actually bred them, I don't think. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. I guess he went missing.
Weren't they from the same litter?
No, they weren't from the same litter.
I thought that was the reason we ended up getting him from the same litter and we couldn't, or something like that.
I don't think so, because he looked very different.
I mean, first off, Macy had her first batch of babies with was it the wiener dog?
Yeah, Prince.
I love Prince. Prince was a great dog.
I think the main problem might have been that she was just always pregnant from Prince. She had like 70 puppies.
Yeah, y'all should have done something about that. I mean, I really do feel bad for her. But Prince was a great dog, and I'm glad that his legacy lives on.
He loved you and no one else. And that's why you liked him.
There's something weird about dogs that are really mean but are really nice to me. Because Smokey was like that. Prince was like that. I didn't know Prince was supposed to be a mean dog, because he'd just come up and sit in my lap.
He chased Connor down the driveway, barking and biting his heels.
Yeah, I never had that out of Prince.
One time Christopher got so mad at him, he snapped his neck and threw him in a bush, and he just got up and walked away.
Wow. Christopher is so mean to that poor innocent little dog. Anyway,
was very mean to the dog.
Here's a fun story you might not know about the day Micah got. He named it Spanky. Kaylee and I were on our way home from Conroe from math classes. And we were supposed... How dare you?
Okay, continue.
Didn't you want Micah to like get up a grade so that you two could do math classes together?
Yeah, because I didn't
You
have
nerd! You nerd!
I didn't follow through.
Right. Okay, so we were supposed to stop and meet my dad, who had already gotten the dog, and take the dog home. But instead, I forgot, and we detoured down 75 to look at a retro Mustang that was on sale. And it wasn't until we got home. No, I think it was as we were looking at the Mustang, it finally snapped, and I was like, wait a minute. I think we've done a bad thing. But it turns out Dad had already driven home with the dog. And you know what? One of the best dogs we've ever owned. He trained himself almost. It took like no effort whatsoever.
Yeah.
The only problem was he was incredibly aggressive. Thank you. He was incredible. Well, thank you. He was incredible. Well, thank you. He was Oh, well, thank you.
I keep doing this.
Well, thank you. He was incredibly aggressive to. Oh, well, thank you. 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 Thank you.
Okay.
He was incredibly aggressive towards strangers and the UPS man specifically for some reason. Now, the FedEx man, we never had any trouble with. In fact, I would argue that he liked the FedEx man because the FedEx man knew him by name somehow. We don't know. He didn't have a name tag. He definitely never heard us call him Spanky, but he did, and he'd pet him, and he looked forward to seeing him. Hated the UPS man. The UPS man once used one of the boxes that he was delivering as a projectile against Spanky. He threw it at Spanky. Spanky was never going to bite him. Spanky never bit anyone. He just barked at them a lot.
Yeah.
Frankly, I don't blame him for not liking the UPS man. I think he had some issues. I don't know.
Any human being that can be mean to a dog just loses all respect in my mind.
Yeah. Spanky had this problem, though. No, he didn't. I'm thinking of Felix. Felix had a problem. Completely unrelated from Spanky. Let's go back to the dog Micah had before Spanky. Who,
Felix,
by the way, no idea what happened to either of these dogs.
Cute.
Either Spanky or Felix, don't know what happened to them. They both just up and vanished one day. But Felix had this habit of wandering off about a mile away from our house. Oh, well, thank you. To this other person's house where he had about 5 female dogs.
Just a regular harem out there.
He would go over there and just hang out with them. I remember one time we went over to this guy's house and we knocked on the door and he was in a bath towel and he covered in shaving cream. He was shaving and we were like, hey, is our dog here? He goes, Felix? Yeah, I think he's out back with the girls. So we go out back and I'm not even kidding you. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. 5 female dogs sitting in a circle. And in the middle, Felix is just sitting there, wagging his tongue, looking around at all of them. In this circle, we come around the corner, what are you doing? He just looks at us, he's lolling his tongue, and we're like, get in the car, you rotten little... What is this? It was such a strange sight to behold. But, and then he vanished. I think he went back to live with his harem for the rest of his days.
And you didn't go get him again?
I mean, no, we did go look for him there. He wasn't there. But I like to, in my mind, imagine that's what he's doing now. My family's not good with dogs. I'm great with dogs. I've had Kylo since I moved in here. He's fine. He's healthy. He's weird. Awesome. But so am I, so we get along well.
Yeah.
And I just made people watch me sift through gravel for an inordinate amount of time.
Very exciting things. That's sarcastic.
I'm switching over to your camera angle. Now you have to live up to that promise. What sort of exciting things are you doing, Jenna?
Oh, I found TNT.
Ooh, like dynamite?
Yeah.
Dun 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 TNT. Ooh, TNT. What's the next question?
Oh, right. My bad. Yeah, so that was a long story.
Is it your bad?
Yeah. What do you think of PewDiePie's new song targeting T-Series?
Be sure to subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yes, please subscribe to PewDiePie. We can't let T-Series win.
I still don't know what a T-Series is, and that's why I'm all the more invested in this.
Oh, there's also, warning, if you haven't heard it, there's swear words in it. He's talking about female dog lasagna, if anyone... That's not the name of it, but I'm censoring.
Look, I haven't heard it. I don't know what it's about.
I've been watching his stuff religiously lately, so. I'm
sure it was great, and we're really going to stick it to the man with this
T-Series
one, right?
is going to go down.
Yeah. How do you know what the count is at present moment?
They're only like 100,000 apart.
Ooh, I don't like that. Yeah, y'all go be sure to... Almost said vote. Be sure to subscribe.
Account, subscribed with all those.
We're subscribed with the Howdy Folks and the Howdy Folks Live accounts. Both subscribed because we are invested.
I have my Minecraft account subscribed. My private account subscribed.
Good, yeah. Okay, I'm taking it off of your camera feed now, Jenna.
Thank you.
No offense.
I'm still looking at questions.
But,